Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reacting to, and this is a blind reaction mainly because I haven't got my recorder down the bottom to record my face, but my face is ugly anyway, so. But anyways, this is a recorder, this is a reaction video, so I'm basically recording right now. So, Scribbler recently released a new audio drama called History Repeats Episode 1, 1,000 Eyes, and full cast and audio drama. So, yeah, I'm going to be reacting to this. I'm assuming it's something about Grogar. Something about the past, because it looks like Generation 1 style MLP. So, yeah. I recently did, I think it was a year or so ago, a reaction video to Remembrance by Ashley H, which I still have to react to the rest of the episodes. But, yeah. If you like this video, then just leave a like, or if you haven't seen it, then you can pretty much react with me. So, yeah. Anyways, before I start, I also want to say that, please no spoilers from anybody who's already seen it in the comments, or, like, you know, in case anybody else hasn't seen it. Obviously, I'm watching it now, so the comments will be after this video, but I'm just saying, don't say anything now, after the video is done, because, most of you may have seen it, others might not have. This was released like a day ago. And it's 55 minutes, 17 seconds in total. So, without any further ado, let's react. I hate adverts. Right, previously on History Repeats.
Yes, everything's gonna be just fine. The dream again. Vision, sister. It is a vision, a warning.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this.
Here, as long as she stands on equestrian soil, we shall prevail. The legends about those creatures were ancient before Equestria was even founded.
Yeah, this is definitely about Grogar.
Our world.
There is no time to lose. We have to send some pony to find her. Please, Sally.
You took longer than I expected you to, Lightning Dust.
You said you'd pay me.
Lightning Dust!
I'm no traitor.
Oh, but you are. By helping me, you've damned your entire world!
Ah!
Yes! Flee!
Wow,
Run!
that's good art.
It will do you no good! Everything you see is
Wow.
nothing seems it's going right. Don't let your heart start to bend. Don't give up the fight. You cannot live out what you see.
Ice Skates is rarity. I love Ice Skates.
Believe when everything just seems so hard.
Oh, is Lightning just like a main character in this?
To bear, and no one in this world just seems to care.
I knew this was about Grogar.
I will lay you down, and I'll show you
Wow,
how
Scribbler. I
to
think
close your eyes and see beyond the
Oh god,
doubt.
this takes me back to Generation 1.
Everything you see is okay.
Wow.
And nothing
Really like
seems
the art.
it's going right. Don't let
Oh my
your
god,
heart
next
start
and
to bend. Don't give up the fight. You cannot live out what you see. Only believe.
Generation 2. Episode 1, 1,000 Eyes. Cool.
Applejack narrowed her eyes and tilted her head at the portable blackboard standing out in the open, grassy courtyard near the sculpture garden on the palace grounds.
Scribbler narration.
Not far away, Rarity was leafing through a romance novel at the base of a statue. Fluttershy was covered in local birds, busily braiding her mane, and Pinkie Pie was teetering precariously atop a stone
Main
vase, trying to mimic a statue's pose. Applejack tilted her head still further, and then straightened.
Nope. I don't get it.
Rainbow Dash frowned.
Oh, come on! It's as easy as falling off a cloud. Just follow the...
She turned to face the
What?
board she'd
Is
only
she
just finished
painting
covering in
something,
curling,
or-
coiling dotted lines, X's, O's, and chevrons in 3 different colours of chalk. The board now looked like a schematic illustrating a bowl of noodles
Where's
exploding.
Twilight?
Dash chuckled sheepishly.
Okay. Maybe aerial hoofball is a little complicated.
Maybe she's painting
But
a
still,
sky map
you're
or
one of the
something.
top athletes in Ponyville.
I'm not quite sure.
You should totally be able to figure it out.
Applejack adjusted her Stetson with a hoof.
And why exactly do you want me to learn a sport that you can't play without wings?
Rainbow Dash sighed in frustration.
So that when Twilight gets back from her talk with Princess Celestia, we'll know what you're talking about when we both convince her to play on my team in the next big
she's
game.
with
Did you
Celestia.
see
Okay.
those wings of hers? She'll be a natural.
She smiled broadly at the prospect,
Well, as long as it's for a good cause.
replied Applejack dryly. Rainbow Dash chuckled, and then dusted the board clean with a few swipes of a wing. She picked up a piece of chalk with her teeth.
Okay, let's start off with a left.
What are you painting?
A sudden, chilling breeze caught Dash's attention mid-sentence and sent a shiver down her spine. Her multicolored tail frizzed. She turned around and found herself face to face with a dark blue alicorn.
Luna!
The chalk dropped out of Dash's mouth.
Princess Luna. Don't you usually, not come out much
Why
in
is
the
she wearing
daytime?
sunglasses?
Luna straightened. Her translucent mane and tail were dusk pale in the daylight, and her eyes were narrow behind a pair of platinum-framed sunglasses.
This is no normal situation. We have an urgent task for thee. If thou art not too occupied with thy
Wow,
stalwart
nice
friend.
Luna voice.
Luna nodded toward Applejack, who doffed her Stetson nervously. Dash stared, and then caught herself.
Not really, Princess. I'm ready for anything.
Applejack stepped forward, putting her hat back in place.
Me too, Princess.
Luna spread her wings.
Thy courage is admirable, Applejack, but sadly we cannot accept thy aid. This task doth call for flight.
The alicorn leaped into the air.
Come, Rainbow Dash, we must make haste.
Dash hovered, but then paused.
Light. Should we get Twilight too? Or Fluttershy?
Luna's shaded eyes betrayed nothing.
Nay, loyal
nice
Rainbow
art.
Dash.
I wonder what
The new
Rainbow's-
princess is
I wonder what
swift-winged,
Rainbow's doing
but
and what's wrong.
unaccustomed to her new nature as of yet. And though gentle Fluttershy is most virtuous, this mission calls for a flyer of consummate skill.
So pretty much you need all the main
So,
sets.
what?
She means you're a fantastic flyer no pony else can match.
A faint blush colored Dash's cheeks.
I won't let you down, Princess.
She gave a quick salute and then took off after the princess. She looked back over her shoulder and called out.
Oh, AJ! Tell the gang I'll be gone for a little while, okay?
Applejack craned her neck to watch the pair, shifting awkwardly.
All right. I'll just be going then, I reckon.
She turned and headed over to meet up with her other friends.
So she's just going back to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy now.
Let's play Raid Shadow
Oh wait,
Legends.
Fluttershy went, I
Start
think.
now
So
for free.
oh, Pinkie and Rarity. I forgot Rarity was there. Damn adverts. I'm gonna have these all the way through.
Luna flew with phenomenal speed,
What's with the
forcing Rainbow Dash to do
sunglasses?
something she hadn't needed to do since her assessment at the Wonderbolts Academy. Put in an effort.
That's just
Where are we
weird.
going, Princess?
She shouted over the roar of the wind.
To Cloudsdale's weathersmithy.
It's like it's like Luna's 20% cool or something. Rainbow Dash, you've been beaten. Luna is 20% cooler.
Thou hast a rainbow to follow.
Luna shouted back.
What?
Luna offered no further explanation, and soon the pair approached the Pegasus Cloud City's industrial
Why are
district.
they going to Cloudsdale?
The air was cold and damp,
Emergency or
and heavy
something.
with the spicy tang of liquid rainbow. Pegasi in safety gear toted baskets of snowflakes and barrels of rainbow to and fro, and heavy machinery thrummed and clanked in a constant basso backbeat. Luna approached one of the largest and oldest pumps, moving raw rainbow down to the assorted pools and basins and cloud ponds from which it spilled down to the ground below. Her horn flared, and the machine's controls glowed and adjusted themselves.
Whoa! Hey! You can't do that, Princess! The pipes'll...
A rumble shook the cloud under Dash's hooves, and the needles in the machine's status gauges
that's
jerked
the
to
point.
the right. A worried beige Pegasus stallion flapped over in a hurry. He skidded to a halt on sight of the princess.
Princess Luna, we didn't expect a royal inspection today. Could
are you trying to
I
hide?
help you with whatever you're...
Nay, we have no need for thee. Thou art dismissed.
Said Luna flatly. She continued adjusting the machine. The cloud lurched heavily enough to make Dash and the technician stagger. The technician stepped to and fro nervously.
I don't want to be a bother, but...
Luna magicked off her dark glasses and then turned to glare at him, her eyes blazing white. He fled.
The
Dash
hell?
hovered over to Luna and angled to look her in the eyes.
Princess, this is a really bad idea. If you keep turning up the pressure, the machine's gonna blow.
Luna met Dash's gaze.
That is precisely our intention.
Oh,
we have
she
need of a
finally takes the
rainbow that
glasses
doth
off.
reach beyond the edge of the skies themselves.
Dash stared in confusion.
Princess? What exactly do you need me to do?
In the far distance behind Dash,
I think she chose
Luna watched a
Rainbow
teal
Dash
and
because
orange streak
she's
gouge
like
into the
the
cloud
Pegasus,
streak
top
like a falling
Pegasus of this.
star. A crowd quickly gathered around the crashed Pegasus. Luna narrowed her eyes. A magicked fog bank obscured the view.
Thou must follow a rainbow beyond the fairy borders of the world,
Wasn't it
Rainbow
face?
Dash, and seek out a creature of vast power. For Equestria shall soon have desperate need of her. Speed thee hence, swift one, and bring us
I
back.
think she's talking
the
about
Megan.
Megan, if not, well then.
Rainbow Dash listened
idea.
in respectful silence while Luna spoke. Then she flinched, sputtered, sniggered, and finally collapsed in a fit of raspy, choking laughter. Luna frowned. Her magically enhanced ears picked out bits and pieces of the distant crashed pony's gasped entreaties.
Like a living wave, covering everything. No pony left. No
Lightning
time.
dust.
Go now. You gotta get out of here. Please, you have to listen.
Wait,
to me.
what's she doing there?
No, please. I know you don't. I'm not. Don't walk away. I'm not making it up. It's coming. It's coming.
Rainbow Dash!
Luna bellowed, stomping thunder from the cloud beneath her hooves.
This is no laughing matter.
Dash struggled to control herself.
I'm sorry. But Princess, how can I find the Megan? It's just an old ponytail for foals.
Like Nightmare Moon?
Rainbow's expression became stricken.
Oh!
Yeah.
An instant later, the massive machine finally ruptured, and the entire cloud sank by a pony's height from the recoil as a massive multi-hued ribbon exploded forth from the shattered upper pipes. The glaringly bright rainbow stretched away into the distance, shrinking beyond sight. Rainbow Dash looked up in awe. What remained of her smirk dissolved.
Go forth, Rainbow Dash! Fly as fast as thy wings can carry thee. The rainbow will guide thee. Seek out the Megan and bring her back with thee to Canterlot. We shall await thy return there.
But Princess!
Go now! That is a direct order from your princess, Rainbow Dash!
The
Luna
Pegasus
abuses
gave a
her power too
single
much.
resolute nod before rocketing into the sky, arcing to follow the colourful path cutting the sky in two. Mere moments later, Pegasi swarmed into the area, some reacting to the explosion, and others spreading the word about the exhausted messenger's dire message.
Enough!
Luna boomed with royal confidence.
There is no cause for such alarm. This matter is well in horn, we promise you.
Luna stole a glance upward, where Rainbow Dash was already a speck on the horizon.
Everything will be alright.
I wonder if Megan's gonna be in this first episode. Oh,
Twilight, Applejack, Pinkie Pie,
Nice art.
Rarity,
Hey,
and
isn't that the
Fluttershy
thumbnail?
were gathered in the palace's grand hall, facing Princess Luna as she strode through the doorway. Princess Celestia waited at the back of the room.
Princess Luna! Applejack mentioned you needed Rainbow Dash for something important. Is she back yet? We were going to head out soon.
Luna shook her head.
Thy friend is far away, and swift though she is, she shan't return so quickly.
Twilight Sparkle raised an eyebrow at Luna's statement.
Far away? What do you mean?
Luna trotted forward. The group parted to allow her passage and followed.
oh,
Rest
she's gonna try and
assured,
look
it
at
is a
her
matter
brother.
of crucial import, and a return shall merit a heroine's welcome.
Twilight turned to face her mentor.
Princess Celestia, did you know anything about this?
Princess Celestia stepped closer to the group of ponies.
My sister has acted faster than I expected her to, but I was aware of her concerns. Luna believes there is a great danger.
I
coming
love
to
that
Equestria,
art.
and she...
It's proper horse
Celestia
style.
paused. She met her sister's gaze and let
My
a rare,
little
awkward
horsey.
silence pass.
She has sent Rainbow Dash to recruit an ally.
More than that, sister! A savior!
Luna stomped a hoof, the blow echoing in the vaulted room.
Now that she is being retrieved, we can all breathe easy. No matter what danger is coming, we...
Not coming! It's already here!
The 5 ponies and their 2 sovereigns turned toward the vast double doors, where a teal Pegasus mare was struggling in the grasp
Wow.
of 2 royal guards.
Nice art for
The
lightning
mare
dust.
was wide-eyed and haggard. Sweat shone on her hide and in her tangled mane, and a hastily wrapped bandage covered her right flank.
Apologies, Princess. She crashed into the topiary garden and then flew straight here. She was too fast for us,
said one of the guards. Twilight squinted, and then her eyes widened.
Hey! I remember you! From the academy! Lightning Dust, you nearly...
That's not important! You need to evacuate. Head as far north as you can, now!
Twilight, Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Applejack spoke up at once, peppering the Pegasus with questions.
Yeah, Grogar.
Princess Celestia spread her wings for silence, and then spoke when the ponies complied.
Lightning Dust, please tell us what's happening.
Dust sagged in the guard's grip.
I don't really know, Princess. I tried to explain in Cloudsdale. There was this ram, but he wasn't a ram. More like a monster. And he did something to a volcano in the Badlands, and it...
Badlands? That's halfway across Equestria from here. Why aren't you warning Dodge Junction or Appaloosa?
Dust winced and looked away.
'Cause she's
Her
behind
wings
it.
drooped.
Appaloosa and Dodge are gone.
The ponies standing before Dust shared a shocked silence. Applejack reacted first, her voice a faint whisper.
What do you mean, gone?
Dust closed her eyes against the ugly memory.
This huge wave of purple slime hit them and covered everything.
The smooth.
Moved on its own, like it was alive. And it was covered in these big, staring eyes.
This is giving
Every
me
pony
so
got
many
covered in it,
G1
just-
vibes. Generation 1
Just
vibes.
gave up. They lay there in the muck and they wouldn't move. They hardly even breathed.
Dust shuddered. Her voice cracked. When she opened her eyes, they shone with tears.
I wanted to do right this time. I wanted to prove that I wasn't a... I tried to help them. I tried to tell them. But they weren't fast enough. I wasn't fast enough.
She huddled up and hung her head, slouching on the marble floor like a vulture.
I kind of feel
couldn't
sorry
save
for
them.
Lightning Dust.
I flew away. They wouldn't listen to me. Even in my own city, they wouldn't even stop what they were doing to hear what I had to say. They were more concerned with that stupid weather factory than with me telling them that they were all about to. And when the slime came, it happened so fast that I couldn't.
Oh. Poor Lightning.
I thought maybe Dodge or Appaloosa, they'd be more likely to listen to me. But they didn't. And now they're gone.
Luna's eyes showed sympathy, but her righteous expression did not falter. Twilight's eyes tightened. She swallowed despite her dry mouth.
And now this slime is coming this way?
Dust nodded silently. Twilight stomped a hoof and spread her wings in defiance.
Well, we're not gonna let it get to Canterlot, or to Ponyville, or anywhere else.
Wait a sec. I wonder if they'll have the witches in this, because in the original, in the movie with the Smooths, they did have the witches. The three witches created the thing. So maybe, I doubt it, but you never know.
Her friends agreed with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Princess Celestia smiled proudly and nodded in approval. Princess Luna remained silent.
You sound just like him.
Pinkie Pie tilted her head.
Who?
The sheriff in Dodge.
Twilight lowered her gaze, her wings folded.
Princess?
Celestia nodded.
Go. Go back to Ponyville, all of you. Protect the ones dear to you. And you, Lightning Dust, spread the word in Cloudsdale. We'll send a royal escort with you this time. In the meantime, Luna and I will watch over Canterlot.
Her eyes met her sister's once more.
There is a lot we need to discuss.
Oh. Oh, snap.
Start now for
Sorry
free.
about the adverts, guys. I just can't control them. Also, I've got a bit of a
world
cold
away,
today. Hay fever.
a creature heedless of portents and Pegasi spoke.
So, would you like to tell me what's on your mind?
Dr. Sewell's voice was
Oh my god,
smooth
human
and even.
art! Yay!
He spoke without corners, all
This
in
looks
gentle
cool.
curves, not unlike his plump physique. His pale green eyes peered over his wire-framed glasses as he stroked his salt and pepper goatee. He wore a cheery green sweater vest over a business-casual shirt and slacks. The sweater was the same shade as the drapes in the wood-floored office. He clasped his hands in his lap. His current patient lit a cigarette and held a drag for a moment
I'm guessing he's
before
talking to
sighing
Megan.
out smoke.
I'm not sure.
She
Oh my
slid
God,
low in the
yes!
heavily
I
cushioned
was
leather
right.
armchair and spoke to the ceiling.
I started dreaming again.
Her voice was husky and wearied, all in sharp edges, not unlike her emaciated physique. Her watery blue eyes stared up at the acoustic tiles through the strands of unruly straw-blonde hair which had escaped being tied back. She wore torn blue jeans and a faded black t-shirt decorated with white block letters that read KMFDM and Godlike, above and below a harsh woodcut image of a hand reaching out to grab the world.
Bad dreams, you mean?
Sewell didn't pose it as a question. She let her right hand hang down over the side of the chair, her cigarette sprinkling ash on the floor, and slid her left down her pale face.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
this
noticed
just got
you
really
canceled
dark.
the trip to the petting zoo.
Sewell made the observation with the benignity of a comment about the weather, but a subtle note of accusation rang through.
Why do people always do this? Why? You have a problem or you don't know what to talk about and they're just like, oh, so the weather's really hot, or so, how's the weather over there? Or it's just, no, it's not done. No.
The children were very disappointed, from what I hear.
His patient shifted to sit upright, and then sagged forward, resting her forearms on her thighs.
I can't.
I can't go.
Wait, it might be
Sewell
Megan. I'm
let
not
a
sure.
silent moment pass and watched his patient take another drag before he replied.
You can't make progress until you confront your fears, Megan. You need to see
Yeah,
that
I was
these
right.
animals are perfectly normal and safe, so that you can get beyond your coping mechanism and remember what really happened to you.
Megan's fingers squeezed her legs.
I know, okay? I messed up. I'm sorry.
Sewell gave her a sympathetic half smile.
I'm not trying to shame you, and you don't need to apologize. But it's important that you do everything you can to get well. We need to work together here, Megan. Can you do that?
She raised her head to look into his eyes.
I'll try.
Did you remember to fill in your dream diary?
Wordlessly, she tossed him a tiny waitress-style spiral notepad. He flipped through it, scanning the asymmetrical lines of scrawl.
I still don't see the point of it.
Keeping a dream journal is the best way to...
Whew, sorry, guys. Bless me. Hay fever. Today is pretty hot.
train your mind that dreams are important.
Okay then. I still don't see why my dreams are important.
Megan dragged compulsively on her cigarette.
Dream journals cultivate self-awareness, and self-awareness is the key to lucid dreaming. If we can get you to a point where your dreams are lucid dreams, you can actually change the repetitive nature of what you dream about into something healthier.
Dr. Sewell's eye caught on a rough diagram of a short, squat, rather chubby horse with a ribbon in its tail. The horse had wings.
I think I'm way too aware of myself already.
Firefly! Just throwing that out there. I don't know which character it really is, but I'm assuming it's Firefly because in the first ever generation, Firefly was the first one to crash into like a well. In the castle one, the Nightmare Castle one with, Grogan, really old, pretty much.
Ready.
Dr. Sewell sighed and closed the notepad, but did not give it back.
Megan, one of the first steps to healing is self-acceptance. You need to accept the reality of what happened to you. You tell me that you do, but honestly, I don't see much evidence of it.
I do accept it.
Megan's eyes drifted.
I accept what everyone has told me.
Look at your own phrasing there. You accept what others have told you happened to you. But you have not accepted the reality of what happened to you. You still, on some level, believe the fantasies that your mind constructed to shield you from that reality.
Megan hunched in on herself.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Sewell smiled kindly.
As I said before, there really is no need to apologize, Megan. None of this is your fault. To be honest, I'm very proud of the progress you've made since I first met you. Always remember...
I kind of don't like or trust him, mainly because he seems like a bad guy, like he's going to be a bad guy. It's just, I don't know, there's something sketchy about him.
Remember how far you've come already and be proud of that. Working with other troubled young people is a tremendous step. If sometimes you stumble, well, that's not the end of the world. What's important is that you pick yourself up, look at why you stumbled, and work to make sure you're prepared for the next time, so you don't stumble again.
All right.
Megan swallowed.
I'll see about rebooking the petting zoo visit.
Dr. Sewell smiled.
Wonderful.
Megan did not return his smile.
So, pretty much, she thinks she's going crazy because she used to see ponies, I'm guessing. I don't know. But, overall, the art in this so far is really good. The art, the voices, the narrating, Scribbler's amazing. And literally, I can't. It's just great. For a first audio drama, this is really good.
52 minutes later, she wrapped her gunmetal grey raincoat closer and leaned forward into the rain spitting from the night sky as she walked down the sidewalk. She listened to the growls and splashes of passing cars
Imagine
on
if
her
Rainbow
right
Dash came
as they
out of freaking
echoed off
nowhere
the
now.
soaring buildings to her left and the
That would
rhythmic
shock
slapping
me.
of her sneakers on the wet
Will
pavement.
surprise me because
They were normal sounds, real-world sounds.
she's far away.
While stopped at a crosswalk, waiting for the light to change so that she could reach her bus stop, she rummaged in her pockets for a cigarette and her lighter. Both fell into a puddle at the sound of trotting hooves.
It's a mounted cop.
Megan silently told herself as she felt her muscles clench and her pulse start to race.
It's always a cop. Look at him. Just turn and look.
She didn't. The hoofbeats got louder. She hugged herself and tightly closed her eyes. In the silent fireworks playing out behind her eyelids, every distorted shape was a threatening one. A snarling horned face, roaring dragons, chains, a boiling whirlpool, a hissing wildcat with glowing eyes, a tolling bell, and everywhere, tiny horses screaming.
They aren't real. Damn it, they aren't real!
She let out a small whimper.
Are you okay, miss?
Megan jerked her head upward and looked at the source of the voice with the desperate haste of someone tearing off an adhesive bandage.
Oh, it was a cop, but she envisioned
fine,
something else.
Officer.
I see.
She managed, after a few seconds of wide-eyed staring. The police officer looked at her the way so many people looked at her, with concern and not a little apprehension, like she was an unexploded bomb or something. His horse was enormous, a chestnut mare.
Oh, that's why. That's why she thought of the ponies and stuff, because he's got a horse. Okay.
Who leaned forward a little, making Megan jump back with a jolt.
Are you sure you're okay, miss?
Yes, I'm sure.
Megan shoved her hands into her pockets so that the horse's soft, velvety mouth could not touch her bare skin. The police officer did not look like he believed her.
Weather's turned sour. You should probably get indoors.
The addendum, "if you have anywhere to go," was unspoken, but clear nonetheless.
Just heading home now, sir.
Are you walking the whole way?
No. Bus.
Megan resisted taking a step back. She knew she already looked like a crazy person. Heck, there was no looked about it.
All right then. Should be one along pretty soon if you hurry.
Okay. Thank you, officer.
The officer slowly nodded.
I feel bad
and then
for
directed
her.
his mount onward.
She's got issues.
The chestnut mare trotted on. Megan stayed where she was until the noise of the city swallowed up every trace of the receding hoofbeats. Far above her, past the rain clouds, in the deep black of the night sky, a shooting star with a multi-hued tail flared into being.
Rainbow! Is it? I bet it's Rainbow.
By sunset, a wall of piled sandbags encircled the outskirts of Ponyville in anticipation of this sinister flood. The town's ponies had worked together with diligence and song, finishing the work in record time. All of the youngest and oldest ponies were safe and sound on the upper floors of homes and buildings,
looks like
and most
that
things of
pony-
value were packed up with them.
That Pegasus kind of
A
looks like
heavy silence
Surprise.
fell over the town, full of tension and anticipation. Fluttershy set down a tray of refreshments for the break
it's
wall workers,
Derpy. Okay.
and then alighted on the town side of the new wall,
Nice addition
folding
there.
her wings and knitting
Everybody
her brows.
likes Derpy.
So quiet.
She whispered.
A little too quiet.
Pinkie Pie hopped out from behind a dirt pile and began playing a raucous tune on a small coiled horn made of crystal.
Who else
Her
but
frizzy
Pinkie
pink
Pie?
tail flopped to and fro in time with the honking notes. Several watchful ponies in the surrounding area jerked in surprise and then fixed the pink party pony with disapproving glares. Pinky's music petered out and stopped. She said through the horn and backed away sheepishly.
There, in the distance!
A Pegasus stallion hovering a few pony heights above Pinky pointed a hoof southward. A dark purple shadow was covering ground far in the distance,
Oh no,
spreading toward Ponyville from the south like the nightfall spreading from the east. The ponies at the wall leaped into action, double-checking its construction and shoring up thinner areas.
Lightning does seem so afraid of this thing.
Fluttershy hovered over to stand next to Pinky.
What should we do?
Pinky inhaled to speak, but then a full body spasm sent her wobbling back and forth. Her tail swirled and her eyelids fluttered. She finally came to rest after a straight-legged backflip. Fluttershy drew back in alarm.
Pinky! I've never seen you get a Pinky stance like that before. What does it mean?
Pinkie Pie was suddenly very, very quiet. She was still a stone for 5 heartbeats, but then she perked back up to her usual broad grin and loud, high voice.
It means we should go check on every pony else. Come on, Fluttershy.
Yeah, I
Pinky
think
bounded
that's a lie.
away, Fluttershy scrambling to take
Probably
off and hover after
something
her.
dangerous and she doesn't want to tell her.
Let's play Raid
these
Shadow
adverts are doing my
Legends.
head in.
Start now for free.
At the center of town, Twilight Sparkle and her favorite assistant were hard at work organizing the preparation efforts. Twilight's horn was glowing, as were the dozen parchments and half-dozen quills orbiting around her.
I like
the
this
pens
art.
all wrote at once,
I like
a
her
testament to
flow
the
magic in
Alicorn's
this.
burgeoning arcane
In the show,
power.
it's like pinkish purple,
Spike the
but
Dragon
it's
was
like a
scurrying
light
this way
looking
and that,
purple in this.
maintaining Twilight's in and out boxes by toting fresh and completed checklists and papers. A few yards away, Rarity's horn was also aglow. 7 blue glowing canvas sacks were assembling themselves one by one as they hovered
look at
around her,
Spike.
casting shadows
Cute.
over her pristine white hide.
He still likes Rarity.
Each bag was stitched to sandbag perfection and embroidered with her stylized R insignia. Pinky hopped over with a cheery smile.
Hey, Twilight. Hey, Rarity. Looks like the whatever it is coming pretty soon. Have you seen Applejack anywhere? And is Dashy back yet?
Twilight's eyes didn't leave her work.
Applejack is fortifying Sweet Apple Acres, and Rainbow Dash is
A few of the floating papers wavered.
still not back yet.
Oh,
Pinkie Pie's smile lost an inch or two of width.
okie dokie then.
She knows something.
If you see them, tell them.
Pinkie pondered for a moment.
Tell them Pinky said to keep on smiling.
Will do.
Twilight was already half obscured by her swarming busywork, but the enchanted pages soon slowed once again.
Hold on. Why can't you just tell them you're...
Pinky was already gone.
What was that all about?
I don't know. Just Pinky being Pinky?
Spike passed by with a pile of inventory sheets.
Maybe so?
Rarity narrowed her well-decorated eyes.
Maybe not.
Fluttershy shrugged
I
apologetically,
love the art in this.
at a loss to contribute to the conversation. Her front hooves were outstretched to receive
Why does
Rarity's
Fluttershy
shipment
look
of
so
haute couture
worried?
sandbags for delivery. The timid Pegasus took to the air and
Uh-oh.
headed back to the breakwall's dirt pile to have the bags filled and distributed. But a few wing beats from the site, a shadow loomed in the southern distance. Fluttershy drifted to the ground, and the bags dropped. Fluttershy's jaw did likewise. A surging, boiling, purple-black tidal wave was building a few hundred yards from Ponyville. The vicious sludge lashed and lunged as it flowed, like a clot of worms writhing in a thin bag. The outer surface was dotted with staring, shallow-socketed
Does
eyes
anyone else
that
remember
rolled
the
to and fro
smooths
in
from
mindless
Generation
stares.
1? Because I
The
do.
wave crested and fell, and a rolling wall of the slime streaked toward the breakwall at a galloping pace. All around Fluttershy, ponies broke and ran and flew in a panic, desperate to escape. Fluttershy stood in mute shock until a galloping earth pony jostled her aside and she snapped to her senses. She spread her wings and took flight seconds before the syrupy mass struck the sandbag wall. The first impact knocked half the sandbags flying, but the wall held back the noxious tide. Until the tide began to climb.
Oh.
Fluttershy rose higher
Great art.
and sprinted for her cottage on the town outskirts. Placed on a hilltop as it was, the home had seemed pointless to fortify. But now... At the same time, not far away, Applejack and her bulky brother approached a second break wall around Sweetapple Acres, which encompassed the Zap Apple
I was
field
thinking
and the
that, Big
farm's
Mac, what are
primary
you doing?
buildings.
Get out of there.
Well, Apple Bloom's Miss Shirley at school in town, and Granny Smith's up at the farmhouse.
But
Now
it's
that the
helping,
pony folk are
so-
safe, no reason not to shore up this here wall. Gotta keep our livelihood protected.
Yup.
Agreed Big Macintosh. Above them, a pink and yellow streak shot past, and then briefly doubled back.
Get off the ground. The walls won't stop it. It's coming. Hurry!
Fluttershy flew off without another word. Before the Apple siblings could do more than share a look of concern, a low, bone-shaking thud turned their gazes to the nearby first brick wall, where bubbling slime with 1,000 eyes had struck
bet this has
and was
something to do with
already
the
spilling
witches.
over.
I'll watch over the wall. You make sure the barn's secure and Granny's safe.
Big Mac stared out at the endless tide of purple filth surging toward the closer sandbag wall. He hung his head and let the grass stem between his teeth fall.
Love you, Jackie.
The stallion's kick sent Applejack sailing upward, smashing through the hayloft doors to crash down in the attic's soft contents.
Wow, I would have like told her to run instead of bucking her out the way. That's just funny. Why, Big Mac? Why? You could have killed her.
Senseless, but safe and out of reach.
Oh crap, R.I.P. Big Mac.
Back in the middle of town, the air was thick with the stench of the purple muck and the sounds of ponies shouting and screaming and crying. Twilight and Rarity stood side by side, backing away from the roiling slime pouring through the street. Spike stood on the ground between them, weaving to peek between their legs as he followed them in retreat.
You should fly away, Twilight. Those wings aren't just for show, you know.
I'm not leaving you!
Can't you carry her? I could sit on your back and you could...
I don't think I'm strong enough yet to fly while carrying a full-grown pony for long.
She turned to face Rarity.
I was gonna say
And
that.
I
why
don't
not
want to
carry
risk
her,
losing
but-
you if I carry you with magic, or try to wing you out. One jostle to my horn, and I might lose the spell matrix. We need to find another way.
Rarity nodded. A fresh wave of the slime surged down the street, driving the trio back.
What is this stuff? Ugh. It smells like a used lava bath.
Twilight ignited her horn.
Whatever it is, don't let it touch you. Not even the tip of your tail. Lightning Dust said it's dangerous.
She magicked up a rain barrel and cracked it like an egg, brandishing the two broad halves defensively. Rarity's horn flared as she magicked up a spare sheet of burlap and spread it like a matador's cape. She huffed and gave a flick of her tail.
I like this art.
Let that touch my coat fur? I assure you, Twilight, that is the last thing I will do.
The wall behind Rarity exploded outward as a sludge-bloated home finally reached its breaking point. Twilight winked out by reflex, disappearing in a reddish flash and reappearing on clear ground a few yards away. Spike was close enough to be caught in the spell's effects, and he found himself tumbling to the dirt beneath Twilight, singed and smoking. The pressure slowly eased, and the slime flowed down the paths of least resistance. Twilight opened her eyes and got her bearings.
Oh no!
Rarity had lunged in the opposite direction that Twilight had travelled, and her gamble had not paid off as Twilight's had. Her entire right side was plastered with the thick muck. Her right eye was as wide and blankly staring as the half-dozen ghastly others now dotting her hide. Her gaze turned to meet Twilight's. The unnatural eyes did likewise. Rarity's lips quivered and parted, but no...
Wait, how can Megan be the one to save them from this? I mean, in the original, let me think. Oh yeah, the flitter ponies saved them. So, wait, is there going to be flitter ponies in this series? Will this audio drama? Who knows?
Sounds escaped. A tear fell from her left eye, and she collapsed.
Rarity!
Spike leaped to his feet and raced toward the stricken unicorn, but the glow of Twilight's magic snatched him into the air.
No! Twilight, let me go! We have to...
He struggled against the magical aura, his legs flailing. He howled in anguish.
Rarity!
Spike! Listen!
Twilight spun the little dragon around and held him in front of her face. She shook him.
We'll help Rarity! Do you hear me? We will!
She bashed aside a reaching tendril of the slime with a swing of one of the barrel halves.
But we can't help her if this stuff gets us too! Do you understand? We need to get to safety!
Wow, this got
Spike
dark. The
sagged
slime,
in midair. Tears shone in his eyes.
The smooth is more
but he
deadly
nodded.
in this.
A few streets away, Cup and Carrot Cake cringed on Sugar Cube Corner's upper floor, hugging around the basket holding their twin babies. At ground level, shallow waves of slime ebbed and flowed through the bakery and the surrounding buildings. Here and there, panicked ponies screamed and galloped to escape, but most only succeeded in being doused in purple filth and left still and silent. Countless inequine eyes rolled in their translucent sockets, seeking any further sign of movement.
The smooth always
One of the
creeped me out as a
tentacle-like
kid.
waves swept through the bakery's back room, and pots and pans crashed to the damp floor. Little Pumpkin Cake flinched at the noise and began to whimper. Her brother followed suit.
No. No. Please. Please. It's alright. Shh. Don't cry.
Cupcake's desperate whispers were as soothing as she could make them. After a second crash, the foals burst into tears.
No.
All around, faceless eyes turned to focus on the bakery. The thick pseudopods inside the building reached and probed in search of the stairs up. Carrot Cake ducked to press his lips to his wife's forehead and then cantered over to the room's door and braced himself against it.
I won't let it get in, honey. I promise.
His voice was firm. His
What are you gonna
legs
do?
were
You
shaking.
can't stop it. You're all gonna die.
Not far away, Twilight Sparkle galloped along the untouched upper walls of downtown Ponyville's buildings as if they were level ground. Her horn blazed from the gravity-bending spell, and Spike was clinging to her back between her spread wings, still and silent. Twilight vaulted the chasm that was a side street and skidded to a stop near an abandoned cart on the wall that was the ground. She magicked up the cart and smashed it into a narrow alleyway, wedging it in place and blocking the vile flood's path. She released the spell and flapped onto open ground. Her stance wavered for a moment from the vertigo of realigning up and down.
That's all the major side streets. That should slow it down and buy us a little time.
Time to do what?
Spike huddled on Twilight's back, feeling small and useless. Twilight's expression hardened.
Time to prepare the balloon. We're evacuating Ponyville.
Spike's emerald green eyes widened.
But Twilight! We don't have a choice. The sludge is spreading too fast. Lightning Dust was right. We need to run and find somewhere safe so we can figure out what to do.
Oof.
We'll airlift as many as we can in the balloon.
Oh, nice
the Pegasi
balloon
will
there.
carry out as many others as possible, and I'll enchant them so they can stand on the clouds.
Spike's lip quivered.
What about every pony else? What about Rarity?
He wrung his tail in his claws.
Bless Spike.
Twilight?
Twilight looked down the abandoned, barricaded street, but made no reply.
Oh no.
On the outskirts of town, Fluttershy flapped her wings and strained against the weight of the brown bear above her. She pushed the animal upwards with her outstretched front
why
hooves,
isn't he
helping him
climbing?
climb up the side of her grass-thatched cottage. Above
Wow.
them, dozens of
That can't
animals
have been
crowded
easy
on the
to draw.
rooftop.
That couldn't have
Chipmunks
been
and
easy to
squirrels
draw.
and beavers and weasels and kittens
Nice
and
animal
otters
art.
and rabbits stood among birds of every size and colour.
Please, Harry. You have to climb a little faster. All right?
Fluttershy said through gritted teeth. She gave another heave, and the bear finished his ascent. The job was done. A moment later, the sweating Pegasus felt her overworked left wing clench and spasm after an off flap. A sprain. Fluttershy fell to the ground, writhing and whimpering in pain. Nearby, the tide of purple corruption approached. Some of the animals chatted amongst themselves, and several raced over the edge of the roof. Angel Bunny took the lead. Fluttershy squirmed around to look up at them. She frowned.
No! Don't you dare come down for me! You stay where you are! All of you! Stay!
Fluttershy focused through
Wow,
the throbbing
that's
pain in
sad.
her wing and unleashed her fiercest stare. The animals froze in shock. Angel begged with his eyes.
Stay!
She was still staring when the slime reached her.
Oh, God.
On Sugar Cube Corner's top floor, Carrot Cake's hooves skidded on the floor as the encroaching slime bashed against the door. He adjusted his stance and leaned harder against the cracked wood. Separated from the majority of its mass by the trip up the stairs, the slime wave was weaker than its wall-rupturing brethren below. But the door was thin, and Carrot's gangly yellow frame made a poor blockade.
Please, Celestia,
Carrot silently begged.
let them get away. I don't care what happens to me. Please, just let them get away.
An
Pinkie Pie!
incongruously squeaky explosion sounded in the distance, and a blur of pink arced down to strike ground in front of the besieged bakery. The cakes stared out of the
Yes!
upstairs window in confusion. Pinkie Pie fixed her stance and looked up through the rain of sprinkles and confetti that had accompanied her party cannon-powered flight.
Hey!
She bellowed at the sludge flooding her home.
You wanna pick on ponies? Then pick on Pinkie Pie, punk!
She waved her tail and blew an echoing raspberry. Cupcake leaned out of the bakery's window.
Pinkie! No!
Pinkie ignored her.
You're making ponies all sad and floppy, huh? Bet you can't stop this!
She unleashed a smile a few degrees wider than her head. The bare eyeballs speckling every patch of slime turned to face her, and the amorphous mass slowly seeped out of the bakery and into the street. Pinkie capered to and fro, waving her balloon-marked rump at the blob.
Nya-nya!
She hopped farther away from the bakery.
You're gonna
The
die,
slime
Pinkie.
gathered itself up and extruded an arm-like wave wider than Pinkie was tall. She moved to dodge, but the wave splattered when it missed and soaked her in purple. The impact knocked her off her hooves.
Pinkie!
Cupcake screamed from the window. Carrot, watching from behind her, turned away.
Sweet Celestia, no. I meant my whole family, including her.
The slime withdrew and
Well, you
shifted
needed
to
to be more
return to the
specific,
bakery.
mate.
But then a voice made it pause.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
Pinkie was struggling to get back on her hooves. Her knees wobbled, but she stood, and her broad smile split the muck staining her face. A ripple of something not unlike irritation passed through the slime. It pulled away from the bakery once more, and raised up a fresh pseudopod.
I'm feeling fine. It's not so bad. Just kinda smelly.
The second wave smashed down on her. When it withdrew, she was flat on her back, completely coated. The slime's lidless eyes somehow managed to widen when Pinky spat out a mouthful of muck and turned onto her side. She coughed and retched and spat out an eyeball as she staggered back upright.
Ew.
What? All this pudding? And no sprinkles?
She can still be
The slime
sarcastic
wave hit
even
her
though she's
again.
down.
Her knees buckled, but she righted herself. Her smile returned.
You're not so good at this, are you? I'm not even grumpy.
It hit her again. Pinky sobbed, and tears cut through the purple splatters on her cheeks. Her hooves skated on the slime until she slammed into a public trough.
Oh, God.
Her smile returned.
I think you missed a spot.
It hit her again. The trough cracked. Pinky whimpered through her gritted teeth. She leaned heavily against the trough's remains, straining to raise her head under the weight of her
Pinky is one
sludge-sodden
strong
mane.
pony.
The slime on her flanks sizzled and bubbled over her cutie mark. And her smile returned. She narrowed her bloodshot eyes at the largest slime mass and coughed out a chuckle.
This isn't working. If you aren't gonna try harder, you might as well turn tail and run right now.
Her eyes darted upward for a moment and met Mrs. Cake's.
You hear me? Run!
The slime was furious now. The bakery was forgotten. The bubbling muck pounded the purpled pink party pony with layer after layer of liquid horror, knocking her back down whenever she tried to move. Pinky cackled hysterically, writhing under the onslaught like a worm on a hook.
This is dark.
Through her
This just got
choking,
dark.
half-sobbed laughter, she shouted again and again.
Run! 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 Run!
The Cakes galloped out the bakery's front door. The shadow of Twilight Sparkle's hot air balloon fell over the Cakes, and behind them, all was silence.
Oh. Please don't say Pinky died. She's what? No! No! That can't be it! Ah! Why? Oh my God! That was so good! Why, Scribbler? Why on a cliffhanger? Now I have to wait for episode 2. No! Still, this was awesome! I'll just watch the credits because, yeah.
When faced with him, we waste our lives lying with fine.
Cloud9 was lightning dust. Cool. I don't know any of these actors, but they were really good. I think I know Sonic Fan 39 too. I'm not quite sure. I think I've heard of him. Art generously created by Azure Wacky. Wow. These people are so talented.
Wishing for remedies.
That was really good. I gotta say, for the first audio drama, this was really cool. So, nice one, Scribbler. Amazing job. I really hope that Princess Trixie Sparkle 2 is good too, because I'm gonna react to that as well when it comes out. End song, Line the Fun. Yeah, that's a good one. I like the sparkles in the background. I can't to the next one. Oh, bless Scribbler. I promise episode 2 won't take 2 years. Well, yeah, it might take a year, a couple of months, but I'm willing to wait. Ooh, next one's called Storybook Monsters. I'm willing to wait, Scribbler, every minute because that was amazing. This was too good. Absolutely amazing. So that was that, guys. That was my reaction to History Repeats, and I gotta say I'm really impressed. I liked it. I liked the exchange of Grogar and the sort of Generation 1 vibes from MLP, and it's basically Generation 1 from all the way through it. Like the smooths, that was just awesome. And for those of you who haven't watched Generation 1, well, the smooths is just Generation 1. It was in MLP the movie, which I grew up with, which was Generation 1 or 2. I can't remember, but yeah, it's a really old generation. I've got to say, I hope that Generation 5 would be like those sort of designs. But this was awesome. Really cool. I really enjoyed it. So that's going to be it for my reaction video. So like the video if you enjoyed it, and go check out Scribbler and the audio drama that she just started because it's really cool. So yeah, that's it. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.